Yes, Sarvanji. This is summarization of what we have learned so far in the Tattva Bodha. So right now we are in, we have completed about 9 talks of Prabhuji, are in terms of Tattva Bodha text, about 2 major chapters, Adhikari and the Atma Tattva Viveka. So you're now about to summarize the whole journey so far. Please go ahead.
Sure. So in Atma Tattva Viveka, we started with the discussion of what is Satya, Asatya, and Mithya. Like whatever that exists, how do we interpret them, right? And the related question is again Nitya and Anitya, right? So the way I see it is it's very important to distinguish each and everything to avoid the confusion, and where then the confusion is at the root of all the suffering. Because there are different ways of existence. For example, if you take the Satya, Satya, Mithya, where like how do you define Satya? Satya is something which is there, eternal, unchanging, always there, and it is the truth. While the Asatya is like something not existing, and Mithya is something which looks real, but on inquiry it's unreal. Okay, so there are these 3 different existences, right? And the suffering starts when the jiva tries to see everything, or like wants to see everything in the form of a Satya, right? While the nature of, if the nature of the thing that we are seeing is Mithya, if you try to expect Satya on that, if you try to expect that to be always there and should not change, then the suffering will start. So this knowledge that like the nature of the existence will help in giving that clarity that this is the nature, and the example of Mithya is the Jagat, right? Whatever is outside the self is always changing, and so like though it may change slowly, but that the rate of change should not lead to a person to see that as the real one, and develop attachment to that, because the moment I want something and that thing has changed, then it will lead to suffering. So that learning the nature of their existence helps me, and like helps one to see things clearly, and avoid that confusion. And same thing applies to the Nitya Anitya Viveka. I mean, there is only one thing again that is there forever, and trying to expect a Nitya behavior on outside is again will lead to suffering, right? So all the things that are born, that are created, will eventually die, will eventually go away, right? And the only thing that will stay forever is the one that has no beginning and no end. So this knowledge helps to understand the nature of everything. I make something, okay, that is going to go away because it had a birth and it will have a death, right? So that kind of understanding of this Nitya Nitya Viveka on the things, right, on what I see, helps me to have that clarity on how to approach things, right? And then we move on to uh, the instrument, right? I operate with this body, and this body has these senses: the eyes for seeing, ears for hearing, so on, right? And I believe that this instrument is the perfect one and gives me uh, what is that actually, right? And not understanding this instrument completely leads me to again suffer, because it's like anything I buy. If I don't read the manual, if I don't know how to use it, right, I'm going to misuse it, and I'm going to suffer. The same way, this body is again like, I need to understand this body. I need to understand how it operates, what are the how to use it, what are the limitations, right? And so like through many examples, we can see that the eyes, ears, they are not like perfect. They don't show the exact things, right? And once I understand that, like for example, uh, um, there are too small that cannot be seen by the eye. There are things that are too large that cannot be seen by the eye. And and for the sky looks blue, but like on inquiry, come to understand that the sky is not blue in color, right? There's not painted blue, right? And so same way, the ears can hear within certain thing, but there are a lot of other sounds and frequencies that the ears cannot hear. So that basically tells me that like not to completely trust the body and the senses, and uh, go by that, right? So using the instrument in the wrong way will lead to wrong choices, which will eventually lead to again suffering. So all this understanding basically is to uh, uh, reduce the suffering and have that clarity of what is what, right? How to use things. And so body being the instrument that is very visible, is like we first come to learn. Then we learn that like there is another next instrument, which is the mind, right? Which basically takes the inputs through the body, and then like projects the scene to the brain, right? And here we learn that like it's not only that body has limitations, and what body shows, the senses give, the mind again colors it based on the condition, based on how that mind got trained or went through in the previous experiences. All these are recorded, and that basically colors or interprets interprets the scene that is given by the senses. So again, what I learn is like, it's not only what I see, again how I interpret, that again matters, and that leads to suffering, right? So understanding the limitations of the body is at one level, and then like even when I get it, how I interpret what I see is the next level, right? So that is again more important to know, that uh, be open and to learn on how the mind operates, right? uh, Giving the right knowledge, the mind sees the same thing in a different way, is what I learned. I came to know, right? Then if these are the things, and like because this mind and body is like very close, or like this is what one associates with me, right? Um, if with this understanding of this body and mind, then it comes like uh, it looks like these are two instruments. Then like, what am I? Who am I? Right? What is the essential nature? Right. So then the learning we have got here is uh, the self is the only one that is Satya, that is Nitya, right? And that is what operates this body and the mind, or gives life to this body and the mind. Without that, the body and the mind, they don't have existence. They don't have uh, uh, the life, right? And and then we go and explore what is the essential nature. Then we like whatever the two things which are in the purest form, the Satya and the Nitya, is the self, is the Atman. Right. So the more one goes away from that self, um, you get into the Mithya and the Anitya ones, and there is a lot more confusion and suffering. The more you go inside towards that Satya and the Nitya one, there is a lot more peace and bliss. Right. So the nature being that Sat, Chit, Ananda, right? Why is that not being felt? Is because what we learn is Sat and Chit is always very easily seen. I exist, right? I am conscious that I exist, but the bliss is not seen because the mind is all the time occupied with the Mithya and the Anitya ones outside, and like all the time trying to, at the moment mind is say active or not in the calm clean state, the bliss of the self is not felt. And that is exactly what we learn by going through the meditation nididhyasa, where the mind settles down, disconnects from the outside events, and like one is able to feel the bliss, right? So that is the essential nature of me. I get it. So what is the essential nature of the world then next? The world outside, as I said, is it is mithya and it is anitya. Things keep changing continuously, right? So that is how I see the world as. And what is the essential nature of God? We move to that. Um, so the way God is seen here, there are two concepts, which is um, Nirguna Brahman and then Saguna Brahman, right? Uh, uh, when we go to the God as we have used to with the name and form, that is the Saguna Brahman, which creates creates all the lives and runs the show kind of thing. While one level above that is the Nirguna Brahman, where it is, that's it. And there is no name, no form. It's and the nature of the God Brahman is that it is everywhere, in the smallest of the smallest, and everything is in the Brahman, and there is nothing else is Brahman. The Advaita concept comes that there is only one, right? How do I realize that the God is everywhere? Because uh, everything is in Brahman. There is nothing else. So when there is nothing else, when there is only one, uh, uh, you cannot see a space or a time in which Brahman is not there, right? So so that's how we see that, because all that exists, the Sat comes, and if it operates, Chit is there, right? So that way we see that God is everywhere. There is nothing outside this. Um, yeah, maybe I will stop here, Vijayji.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want others also to share, and then you want to continue, is it?
Yes, and like, was this flow okay, or?
Yeah, I felt okay. Let's hear from others what their feedback is. Is there any feedback? Any questions or anything where? Yeah, go ahead, Sarunji.
Yeah, so the flow of like what is the concept, and like why, what is the importance, and like how it helps. That is how I'm presenting, right? So do you see uh, the flow right? Do you see any misunderstanding or misinterpretation, or like have any question on like why I understood this way from anyone?
Sarvanji, it is perfect, Sarvanji. The flow, everything is nice. You go ahead. Actually, I like the way you explained essential nature of me and the world and the God, Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, and it's in a simple way. Go ahead. Fantastic.
Satyaji, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, nothing, Vijayji. It's nice, Sharonanji. I mean, the way you came out with each and every question and the understanding you have summarized it really well.
Sarvananji, one thing I would like to ask you, like you told world is different and I am different, but that is clarified in the next part in the study material, that we are the part of the world. Actually, that is also Mithya and we are also, I mean, that is also Anitya and we are also Anitya, but both the things are not different. Both the things are the same. That is the only point, only clarification.
You want to give your view on that, Saravanan?
At this point of time, actually, I do see the difference. Yeah, I think as we move on, the concepts, I guess, will go to the next level and we start seeing it differently. But in the beginning, this is how I see as what I see outside. Like in a layman's world, the world I see outside is ever changing, is Mithya, and is Anitya. Nothing remains as is.
But
While
when Priyaji says we are also part of the world, that particular statement, do you want to clarify?
Yeah. So yeah. So the way I see it is like when I say I already split it into three. Okay, I being the self, and in the self there is this body mind. Again, it's the object outside me and the world. Okay, world is very easy that it is outside me, but I am further splitting me into two, which is the self and the body mind, the intellect, or as an instrument I am keeping it outside, right? So that's where I said that essential nature of me, when I say is that the self, the Satchit Ananda Swarupi.
I feel, Vijay, initially, in the first stage, we start with this is not me, neti, where we start negating that, you have a house, you are not the house. You have a body, you are not the body. So whatever you have is yours, but it is not you. So we start negating what we are not. We start negating what we are not, and slowly that is we come to a conclusion that aham brahmasmi, or shivoham. So from shivoham to sarvam khalvidam brahman is the journey. Like first we start negating and seeing the self as the only entity, and everything is not. But then whatever is not, see, this self is again part of the whole world. So the self itself is a manifestation of the whole world. So we come to
It looks like her internet
Oh,
is
okay.
connected.
Let's wait. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to continue the giving your review on further questions, or do you want others to also? Because I don't know what, let's say, for example, Padmaji would like to do, whether she would like to go through the same question and answer format, or whether she would like to use the whatever the journey deck that we have. So, so therefore, do you want to complete your summarization and then we move on to others, or at this stage we listen to others and then we take the next step? Because there are essentially 3 slides of questions. If you go through the question and answer kind of a format.
Yeah, Vijayji, my internet
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
disconnected. So initially we are in a stage where it is Aham Brahmasmi, or I am Shivoham. And then finally we come to a conclusion that see, the pure self, or the consciousness and the awareness which with which we are operating, or which is the essence, is the same. It is the same essence which everything has, like a stone, a tree, an animal, a bird, the whole world, or all the people. So when you really go to that one point of awareness, what awareness is operating through you, the same awareness is operating in everyone and in the whole world. So when you negate and come to that one point, and from that point, when you are seeing the world, you then understand that what you are and what the world is the same. So that is Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman, where everything is the same. The essence of everything is the same. So only for convenience, we divide it as individual consciousness and universal consciousness. As we do for everything, we try to divide it, and we try to make it simple so that we can understand the whole process easily. So this is the journey as per me.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll put it one more way. Priyaji, it's like the way as we graduate from kindergarten towards a doctorate, right?
Yeah.
I think the start is given in a simple way, and then like
Correct.
slowly it takes, right? And then by the time we end, as Satyaji said, like the conclusion is much bigger at a broader, higher level, right?
Yeah, I try to understand, like you're visualizing as it, like now you're trying to understand yourself as an experiencer. Like I am not this, I am not this, neti, neti, neti. Then we come to the conclusion that we are nothing other than Brahman. Yeah, that's nice. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we will we'll go towards that. Yeah. So as we start, these are the steps I am going through, and I am seeing it this way. Okay. Thanks, Satyaji, for adding.
Okay.
To the
So now,
answer.
Saravananji, it's 8:15. So one is now let's maybe this is a good time to pause also. Let's listen from everyone as far as how we want to proceed with the presentation by the others. Is this format okay for everyone, where each one of you can present the whole journey that we have taken so far, or we can split into areas? That's where Saravananji paused. What is the preference? Is there any preference?
Yeah, definitely. I would say having one to present the understanding in an open way is a lot more challenging, but I think it is good to get the understanding out in own words.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then let us continue this. Then you please complete the rest of the journey, Saravananji. So when I say rest of the journey, you have to complete say right from the Adhikari till the Atma Tattva Viveka, whatever the main topics we have covered. All that you complete, and then the next one will take up. Next person, next Atmajyoti will take up. Say Padmaji, and then Shubhaji, like that. And again, each one of you have complete freedom in how you want to present. Again, these are 2-3 ways, in which it's being suggested. One is you can kind of look at these questions and try to form your answer. That is one way, is how Saravananji is feeling comfortable. If one of you feels more comfortable in actually bringing the Tattvabodha text itself and walking us through that and summarizing your understanding, that is also okay. If you feel that, no, I would like to summarize by day-wise talks of Prabhuji. This is what Prabhuji spoke in the day 1, day 2, day 3. That is okay. Or you want to use this visual deck that we have and summarize, that is okay. Or any other manner you feel comfortable. But the idea is that, you summarize, you express. That is the fundamental idea. What you have realized so far is what you summarize. Is this okay? Is this right approach?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Vijayji, we can go ahead like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, either through, class wise or question wise or topic wise.
Open talk.
Yeah. But each one of you form your own clarity in how you want to present. And when you are presenting, you say this is the format in which I'm presenting. Like how Saravananji said today, I will take question and answer kind of a format. Then you can present. So then we will complete the presentation by Saravananji and then move on to the next Atmajyoti. So today, because it's already 8:20, it may take at least another 15-20 minutes, Saravananji, for you to complete all this.
Yeah.
So shall we take it up from next session? Again, the question to everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, Vijayji.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. So after Saravananji, who will want to take up?
I can take up.
Excellent, Padmaji. After Padmaji?
I will take it up, Vijayji.
Okay, Satyaji. After that?
I will take up Vijayji.
Okay. And then Shubhaji, and then Varunji also will be there.
Yes, sir. I'll take up next.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I had one suggestion that
Yeah.
maybe, while we summarize this, like if we don't do any Nidhi Dhyasa during that time, I think the like one person can cover the entire thing in one class, I feel.
Okay. Then what we can do is, let's have a short Nidhi Dhyasa, something where,
Yeah,
at least
that
for
is
10
fine.
minutes
But I
we'll
think
be in
like
silence.
if we do a 45-minute thing, I think it is taking up a lot of time like that. Also, sir, I had one request. Could you please share today's Nidhi Dhyasa link as well? Because my connection was going on and off, so I couldn't do the entire thing. Towards the end, I think I thought that my connection is lost, and and it really paused that time, and I couldn't finish it with Prabhuji. I finished it before itself.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Yeah. I will definitely share the link in the group also.
Yeah.
Then, what we will do is, the next 1 or 2 sessions, depending upon, when we complete everybody's presentation, 1, 2, or 3, doesn't really matter. We're not in a hurry of time. So first, Saravananji will complete, then Padmaji, then Satyaji, then Priyaji, then Shubhaji, and then we'll have Varunji. I hope Prakashji will also be coming back. He is busy with work. So then, I will have Prakashji. So like that, we have about all these people who will be presenting. And then we will continue with our Tattvabodha.
Yes, sir. So, but could you also share the links to the further talks as well, so we can even
definitely,
go
you know,
through that?
all of them have already been shared, but I will once again share definitely.
Yeah, I think till 11 we have shared till now, right? Till 11 is what
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah. But this topic, no, about the Jagat and the relationship between me and the Jagat, these are all covered in the talks 10 onwards. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, these 5 are the ones which are yet to be, contemplated by us. So far, we've contemplated 9 topics, 9 talks. So 14 is the total number of talks related to Tattva Bodha by Prabhuji.
Okay.
Vijayji, can I have this PPT which you are showing? I mean, during these classes, can you share that as well?
Yeah,
I think he shared it last week, Satyaji, in the group.
Okay, I did not see that.
I'll put the link again, Satyaji. I'll put the link again.
Okay, Vijayji.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll share the today's Nididhyasa. I'll share this deck. I'll share Prabhuji's talk links, so that you please continue. So we are not stopping the listening to the talks. Don't stop that, because when you move forward, you can also use that to summarize your understanding of the previous. So do not stop it. That way, once when you complete this exercise, when we move on to the next topics, it will be a lot easier also. Is there anything else? Any other questions or topics that anybody wants to bring up?
I want some videos from Prabhuji for short meditation, Vijayji. Like these takes around 45 minutes, no? Like for short duration.
Yeah.
Still concentrating for 45 minutes is difficult.
It's the instant coffee.
Yes, instant coffee.
Sure. Yeah. In fact, Prabhuji has started creating a curriculum called as Purna Yoga. The way he is putting it is, there is Kriya and Prakriya together form the Purna Yoga. Anything that we do is Kriya. So say pranayama, yogasana, meditation, there is an effort. So it's all Kriya. Kriya is also necessary because, at a body level also sometimes the transformation is necessary, mind level. They have to be transformed and integrated as a holistic self. Prakriya is a Kriya for the intellect, like the Avasthatraya Prakriya. So it is these two together, the Kriya and the Prakriya, which is Purna Yoga, the complete package. So therefore, Priyaji, in this package, there is instant coffee, and there is you can grow your own coffee also. So
okay,
absolutely, yeah. So I'll get some and I'll share the links. But all of you can also. It's not that there is anything hidden. All of these are available in the Light of the Self Foundation channel. So you'll find everything. But of course, because right now there is close to about 2,000 plus talks by Prabhuji. So sometimes it may be a little difficult to flow through that. So therefore, I will choose some and share, but you can pick up anything that you prefer also, in there.
Okay.
Any other topic?
Nothing.
Right. Yeah. Padmaji, can we end our session with the closing prayers?
Yes, sir. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth to truth, darkness to light, impermanence to permanence. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, totality remains complete. Om, peace, peace, peace.
Put another way, Aham Brahmasmi and Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma is Purna. Purnatva is there is no more any kind of separation, any more division. So the entire journey of Vedanta is not only inward, but in a way, not only outward, but the completeness, realizing that it is already complete and that everything is complete.
Nanu, nanen budu, nanalla, ideha, manabuddhi, nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivananu nane, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am pure consciousness. Shiva Swarupi. Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Satyadarshanam. Recognition of self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is the truth.
See, this is the logic in Tattva Bodha so far also. Recognition of the self. Through the Atma Tattva Viveka, clear step-by-step process has been given. And now we are moving on to the recognition of the whole.
Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Like the fruit falls off from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death, from mortality. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Padmaji.
Thank you, sir.
All.
Hari Om, sir.
See you all next Sunday. Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Vijayji.
Ha, Satyaji.
Nothing. Can you just share that logo with me, that transparent one?
Oh, okay. In the drive, right?
Yes, yes.
I'll do that, Satyaji, now. I'll do that immediately. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hari Om.
Hari Om.